Continuing from the previous episode 1290. After the Forging Knife, Thunder Valley Master announced the rules of the first stage. Although there were also many dissatisfaction among the contestants, there were still 2 stages of competition, so they waited and gave up the first stage of the competition for the time being. After all, whether it is the first stage or the second and third stages that follow, there are 10 places to qualify, and the fittest will be eliminated. Naturally, there is no need to pin all your hopes on the first stage. Let's go, let's draw lots. After weighing it a little, Yue will not participate in the first stage of the individual competition for the time being. After all, this competition is a one-on-one battle. If one accidentally falls, it is not a matter of Forge Thunder Valley. So Xiaoyan and Yue headed towards the wooden box for drawing lots. Apart from that, there were originally 3,000 people in this war zone, but under consideration, only 2,000 people participated. Come and draw lots when you've decided. As for giving up the first stage, your own strong people will take you down to rest. Wait until the first stage is over, and then the second stage will start. The Valley Master of Forge Thunder Valley opened his mouth slowly. Red 100? Xiaoyan easily came to the wooden box. After asking the guards, he put his palm into it gently. When dew appeared, a piece of white paper with the huge red 100 number on it slowly stopped to appear slowly. I'm red 50. Yu ran and Yue said helplessly to Xiaoyan after they parted. I don't know how this individual competition is carried out. Holding the white paper in his palm tightly, he looked up at the burly aura in the sky. Since everyone has drawn lots, this individual competition will begin now. There are a total of 2,000 contestants participating in our battle in this draw, divided into 2 numbers, red and blue. Red number 1 versus blue number 1. So that the top 100 will be decided, and the winner will be selected. The Valley Master of Forge Thunder Valley said slowly. That's it. It seems that the 2 of us are dealing with blue numbers. I don't know what opponent we will meet this time in the individual competition. Xiaoyan smiled slightly. I believe you won't fail so easily. See you in the final. Yu Ran's eyes moved slightly. She obviously knew that Xiaoyan was not as simple as it seemed. After the lottery, you will be taken to the arena by our strong swordsmen from Thunder Valley. Today, the top 100 will be divided, said the Valley Master of Thunder Valley. See you in the final. Xiaoyan also laughed, then followed the Weiwei guards, left Leiji Square, and headed towards the arena. It has to be said that the area of this Thunder World is too huge, so the battles of tens of thousands of people are actually going on at the same time. After a while, Xiaoyan and his party, a total of 100 people, came directly to the arena. The periphery of the arena is protected by a layer of tyrannical protective barrier, which is supposed to be set up to keep the combatants from being hurt. The arena is like a gladiatorial arena. It is high all around, and there are many seats. It is obviously designed for people to watch. As for the middle, it is bumpy. My name is Duan Heng, and I am the general manager of this arena. All the competitions of the 100 of you will be managed by me. The guard brought Xiaoyan and the other 100 people here, and immediately came out, an old man. The old man had white hair and a tyrannical aura all over his body, which made everyone quite depressed. Just the strength of the old man in charge of an arena is the power of the late Samsung Do Xian. The background of this sword forging Thunder Valley is really terrifying. Xiaoyan said slowly, Master Duan Heng, are there any rules for this competition? At this moment, a white student opened his mouth slightly. Competition is determined by victory and defeat, and the use of fighting spirits and weapons is allowed. Once any party admits defeat in the battle, it means the end of the game. I will personally take action at that time, otherwise I will not admit defeat, even if there are casualties. It is not my responsibility within the jurisdiction. The old man Duan Heng said, I see that you can't wait, so let's get started. In the first round, red 100 versus blue 100. Duan Heng opened his mouth slightly, and suddenly there was a gap in the protective barrier of the arena in front of him. Am I the first? Hearing this, Xiaoyan was a little puzzled, but he still took a step forward, because through the power of his soul, he was surprised to find that the number in the hands of the people here is actually 100 or later. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect my opponent to be a weak chicken. Without 3 moves, you will definitely be defeated by me. On the other side, a burly man took a step forward slowly, and it was vaguely that the space around the spirit was agitated. A powerhouse at the power level. The strength is still in the middle stage of the 2-star Do Xian. It seems that this person competes, and some are playing. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Enter the arena, let's get started. Duan Heng said slowly. Please. Xiao Yan said softly, and the ancient ruler of eternal fire suddenly appeared behind him, suppressing his breath. Boy, don't cry and beg for mercy for a while. Naturally, the burly man didn't notice the heat in Xiao Yan's eyes, and was still happy that he had gotten such a weak chicken. Hoo-hoo, this arena is really special. The two of them had just rushed into the arena, and Xiao Yan suddenly discovered that the interior of the arena was actually composed of undulating peaks and rocks. The author is quite helpful, but unfortunately, Xiao Yan is not of the Earth family. Boy, take my sword. The burly man was proud of himself, but his strength should not be underestimated. His azure fighting chi suddenly turned into a sharp sword, his figure flickered, and he assassinated Xiao Yan. And go! Tricks of carving insects. Although this level of attack is tyrannical, the current Xiao Yan is the 9 transformations of the dragon god who has already cultivated. In terms of power, I am afraid that this guy is not his opponent. Boom boom boom! The Yuo Heng ancient ruler was removed instantly, and a violent aura like a soul beast suddenly spread out, and then blasted away at the burly man. Bang bang bang! As soon as the two attacked, Xiao Yan's cyan giant sword was instantly cracked by Xiao Yan, and Xiao Yan's attacking momentum did not weaken in the slightest, and he directly attacked the vital point of the burly man. Looking at this appearance, it was obvious I want to kill with one kill. Don't underestimate me, being able to participate in the Eastern Continent competition is not a waste. After all, they are all geniuses from all over the Eastern Continent. The next moment, the figure of the burly man collided instantly, and then with the help of the skyrocketing power, Xiao Yan's attack was easily deflected away. It's kind of interesting. Xiao Yan was about to end the game with one blow, but he didn't have this scene of this burly man, and he became a little wary. This burly man is definitely not as simple as it seems on the surface, but wanting to defeat Xiao Yan is tantamount to fooling around in a dream. At best, it is just a stepping stone for Xiao Yan. Continuing from the previous episode 1291. Boy, I can't see that you are hiding very deeply. After the burly man's figure had just swelled up, his strength and defense had soared to a new level, which surprised Xiao Yan, so he didn't end the game for a while. After all, he still wanted to through this competition. I will integrate the power in my body. Each other. Xiao Yan was too lazy to answer, and responded slightly. You are very strong, but if you underestimate me, it will make you die miserably. The burly man shouted loudly, and his body actually swelled up. In just one breath, it swelled to the point of death. 10 meters in height. This kind of exercise has the same effect as the Dragon God's 9 transformations, but it is much weaker than the Dragon God's 9 transformations. Xiao Yan did not rush to make a move, and watched slightly quietly. After all, this is the first battle, and it is more or less necessary to hide some strength and defeat the opponent with a thunderous momentum, which is obviously not Xiao Yan's style. I underestimated you just now. Next, I will show all my strength. After all, being able to fight an equal opponent is a blessing in life. There was a sound of breaking wind due to the man's high-speed movement. It's good to come, Xiao Yan shouted loudly, and the ancient ruler of Yuo Heng stopped directly in front of his chest. Bang bang bang! The burly man's attack was like a frightened bird. His momentum and attack strength were extremely tyrannical, and then the two started to fight slowly, and the fight was indistinguishable for a while. This little guy named Xiao Yan, but the owner of the valley has specially instructed the person to take care of. Now it seems that this guy is pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. Duan Heng, who was in charge of the arena, couldn't help but see a black line. Obviously, with his eyesight, he naturally knew that Xiao Yan wanted to defeat his opponent, and one move was enough. This guy seems to be a bit strong. The other powerhouses waiting for the competition outside the arena watched the battle between Xiao Yan and the burly man in the arena, and several figures with decent strength couldn't help but said, obviously they also found Xiao Yan inflammatory intent. How? The famous Mu Xiao is still afraid of this kind of guy? There were also two figures in the crowd, who kept talking. Bingling, you have to be careful. If you fail this time, I'm afraid the Ice Palace Master doesn't know how to punish you. Furthermore, this guy vaguely makes me feel uneasy. Don't look at his strength in the early stage of the 2-star Do Xian. If you don't pay attention to it, I'm afraid even you will be defeated by him. Mu Xiao said coldly. Humph. In the last competition of the 8 major families, I just made a mistake. If the time comes again, I will naturally win. The voices of the two of them talking continuously. A disciple of the Wooden Pavilion and the Ice Soul Temple. Among the crowd, there was a man with a rather dark aura, and he muttered slightly. The aura on this man's body was extremely strange, similar to a ghost, and more evil than a ghost. It vaguely resembles the aura of a foreign evil race. As for why it was not discovered by the guards of Thunder Valley, it is unknown. The two who spoke were the current disciples of the Wooden Pavilion and the Ice Soul Hall. Their identities and strengths were among their respective forces, and they were both at the top level, so they were cultivated by their respective forces. It's actually from the Wooden Pavilion and the Ice Soul Palace. This first stage of the battle will probably be even more exciting. Some figures clearly discovered the identities of the two and spoke slightly. Wooden Pavilion and Ice Soul Hall, these are the top forces above East Continent. The strength of ordinary disciples is extremely terrifying, not to mention the disciples who are close to genius. I am afraid that no one can match their strength. The outcome is already divided. Admit defeat. And just as the outside world was discussing intermittently, the battle in the arena was also decided. I lost. The burly man looked at Xiao Yan in disbelief. At this time, Xiao Yan's Yuo Heng ancient ruler directly touched the burly man's throat less than 1 centimeter. The burly man did not doubt at all. If Xiao Yan wanted to obliterate himself, I am afraid that he would fall if he did not have time to admit defeat. In the first round, Xiao Yan wins. Duan Heng heard the words, and he went directly to the arena with a rush of lightning, then took out a crystal ball, registered a message on it, and then announced the result. The crystal ball records the results, which are naturally some small inventions of the master of the Thunder Valley. Recording them on it can realize the data exchange in the entire mine world, saving a lot of trouble. Next, let's go to the second round. After Xiao Yan's battle was over, Xiao Yan also returned to the outside of the arena, but he did not rush to leave. After all, the top 100 will be decided today, so after a while, Xiao Yan should end fighting. Fortunately, it is still in the audition stage, and the contestants have different levels of strength, so the battle time of a round is very fast. Hello, my name is Mu Xiao, let's be a friend. When Xiao Yan just came outside the arena to watch other people fight, a handsome man walked up to him, then stretched out the palm of his hand, smiled at Xiao Yan. Well? Xiao Yan asked, raised his head immediately, a hint of doubt flashed in his eyes. Don't worry, I just saw that your strength is very strong, and I want to get to know you. Mu Xiao was also worried that Xiao Yan might have misunderstood and explained. Hello, Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan clasped his palm lightly, and immediately said with a smile, you are very strong. I hope to have the opportunity to fight in an upright manner. Mu Xiao said seriously. Me too. Xiao Yan nodded with a smile, then the two of them separated their palms and watched the game in the arena. Aren't the guys in the Wooden Pavilion all handsome men? Why does this guy look like a fighting madman? Xiao Yan said helplessly. This Mu Xiao is far from being as simple as it looks on the bright side. Just because of his strength, he has reached the level of the late 2-star fighting immortals. Hey, this Wooden Pavilion is one of the 8 major families of Licheng, and there are definitely not many trump cards in hand. For you, this is a rare trial opponent. The Lord of Soul Eater said. I hope. Xiao Yan smiled slowly. With the end of the second round of battles, Xiao Yan fought 5 rounds of battles, and then successfully advanced to the top 100 with 6 wins. We have 3 war zones in the first stage of the East Continent ratio, and there are a total of 100 arenas. Now all the winners have been decided. Congratulations, the 5 of you have successfully advanced to the top 100. Tomorrow, the powerhouses in your 3 war zones who have reached the top 100 will gather you together, and the battle between the top 100 will be more intense. Now, let's take you all down to rest first. After Duan Heng finished speaking, he slowly nodded to Xiao Yan and the others, and then sent them to the rest area. At this time, the winners of this arena were Xiao Yan, Mu Xiao, Bingling of the Bingen Palace, the evil figures who had the aura of a foreign race, and the unknown powerhouses. Continuing from the previous episode 1292. I don't know what happened to Xiao Yan. With his strength, it shouldn't be difficult to successfully pass the first stage. At this time, inside the sword-forging Thunder Valley, a beautiful figure was slowly lying in a rather elegant boudoir, with Xiao Xiao in his mind. Flame figure. Xiao Yan's strength and temperament are simply too strong. Lu Qing didn't realize it at first. When he finally entered Icefire Island and met Sanmu Ghost Eye, Xiao Yan asked them to go first and stopped Sanmu Ghost Eye by himself. Undoubtedly, it left a great shock in Lu Qing's heart. "Sister Lu Qing, what are you doing?" Mysterious and mysterious. At the next moment, a shadow silently poured into Lu Qing's boudoir, and then her icy and clean hands directly blocked Lu Qing's eyes, her voice pretending to be an adult. "Qifei." Seeing this, Lu Qing couldn't help but let out a coquettish cry. "Sister Lu Qing." Being drunk by Lu Qing like this, another figure couldn't help but take back his little hand, and then made a mischievous face at Lu Qing. "I knew it was you." Lu Qing raised his finger and gently tapped it on Qian Ying's forehead. "This woman is impressively the only daughter of the current Thunder Valley Master, Duo Qifei." Duo Qifei and Lu Qing are about the same age, but they are a little younger than Lu Qing, but Duo Qifei, as the only daughter of the entire Forging Knife Thunder Valley Master, has been gifted since childhood, and now her strength has reached a 2-star level. In the middle stage of the Immortal, with the addition of a set of gold silk armor made by Gu, the combat power of the whole person is increased geometrically. Now Lu Qing's strength has also reached the early stage of the 2-star Do Xian. "Sister Lu Qing, what are you thinking?" Duan Qifei asked slightly. Lu Qing is a high-ranking figure in the Holy See, and just after he came to Licheng, the evil power of the Master of the Forging Knife Thunder Valley relapsed at that time. It was Lu Qing who took action to suppress him, so Lu Qing was also directly attacked. Nominations advanced to the first stage. In the first stage, there were 9 people who could qualify for the arena, and the last one was Lu Qing. "Nothing." Lu Qing shook his head gently. "Sister Lu Qing, although we have already advanced, but this competition will be very interesting. We will go out to practice quietly, and my father will not find out." Duo Qifei said expectantly, obviously because of his special status. Duo Qifei is also bound in the Thunder Valley of forging blades all day long, so naturally he is quite curious about the outside world. This place is heavily guarded, so is there a way to get out? Lu Qing was a little puzzled when he heard the words. After all, this is the core area of Thunder Valley, and the guard force is far from what the 2 daughters can resist. "Look at me." After Duo Qifei finished speaking, she whispered a few words beside Lu Qing, and then the 2 girls laughed slowly. With Duo Qifei's quirky personality, he naturally knew the way out of this place for a long time, but he never used it. The first day of the competition passed quickly. The place where all the contestants of Xiao Yan lived was a huge mountain range. The mountain range was huge, and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth contained in it was extremely rich, which was quite suitable for cultivators to live in. The middle level is clear enough to easily accommodate tens of thousands of competitors. There are space formations and many patrolling guards outside the mountains, so whether it is a safety issue or a travel issue, it is extremely convenient. Contestants who made it to the top 100, please go to the desolate arena. The top 50 will be decided today. In the middle of the mountain, a majestic voice sounded slowly. With the sound of this voice, the top 100 contestants living in the mountains also became restless. "Let's go to the arena first." When Xiao Yan heard the words, he opened the door and saw Yu Ran beside him. "Your record yesterday seems a bit terrifying." Yu Ran said slightly. Xiao Yan advanced yesterday with a record of 6 wins and 6 wins, and although he was also in the top 100, he had 5 wins and 1 loss. 5 wins and 1 loss. When Xiao Yan and the 2 walked towards the space formation, Xiao Yan also knew about Yu Ran, and he was more or less puzzled. You must know that Yu Ran is a genuine 2-star fighting immortal late stage. Her strength is so strong that even Xiao Yan is not easy to deal with. She never imagined that she would be defeated by such a tyrannical person. The one who defeated me yesterday was the head of the Licheng Mercenary Guild, Mu Zhe, a strong man who has reached the 2-star Do Xian consummation. Yu Ran couldn't help but move her lips and slowly opened her mouth. Yesterday's battle with Mu Zhe was too fierce. Even if he tried his best, he was defeated. "Let's go." After a while, the 2 walked directly outside the space formation, then looked at each other, stepped into it, and walked towards the barren arena. This space formation is impressively connected to the barren arena, so they naturally won't worry about others. Welcome to the top 100 strong players to the barren arena. The next moment, the strong light of the formation appeared and gradually disappeared, and a wild voice filled the hearts of everyone slowly. What a strong breath! The corner of Xiaoyan's mouth moved slightly, obviously feeling an extremely tyrannical oppression from this voice. Desolate arena. This is the largest arena in the entire Thunder Realm, and its energy barrier is enough to take on the attack of any 3-star fighting immortal powerhouse, so the final competition here is also enough to line up. Everyone is in the top 100 in the first stage of this Eastern Zhou rival. Today, it is still the draw of lots to decide the opponent, so that the top 50 will be decided. A huge figure slowly floated in the center of the arena and said to everyone, "The third master of Thunder Valley Forging Knife, Tianfeng?" And as the strong light disappeared, some powerhouses also discovered the figure who was in charge of their competition this time, the third master of Thunder Valley Forging Knife, Forging Sky Feng, the strength in the middle stage of the 4-star fighting immortals. The two masters of the knife forging Thunder Valley are powerful and powerful. The masters negotiate with other forces and refine weapons all day long, but the vice masters are extremely mysterious. There are 3 masters under them, each with a clear division of labor responsible for the large and small affairs of the valley. I am the person in charge of the top 100 until the final 9, Duan Tianfeng. The figure in the arena slowly descended and came to Xiaoyan's crowd. Everyone saw that there was also a trace of silver thunder lingering on this figure, which was extremely mysterious to set off its strength. Susu, the third head of the forging knife, Lei Ji Yu, Du Tianfeng, what a tyrannical guy. The shadow hidden in the crowd also made a slight voice, restraining his dark aura, otherwise he would be at this level in the hands of a strong man. He would definitely die without a place to be buried. No matter what kind of attributes and skills you have, as long as you don't endanger our East Continent, you will have the opportunity to participate in the East Continent. Dao Lei Ji Yu will definitely bring you to justice. Duo Tianfeng naturally found the dark figure with ease, his majestic voice slowly opened, and his voice was full of turbidity. When everyone heard this, they nodded sadly. Since everyone has no objection, then the top 100 will advance to the top 50. Let's start the lottery. He casually glanced at the 100 people around and no one was dissatisfied, and Du Tianfeng said with a smile. As soon as the voice fell, a guard appeared directly from the secret passage, and the wooden box was drawn out, waiting for everyone to draw lots. Continuing from the previous episode 1293. You, who will come first? Du Tianfeng's voice just fell, and there was a burst of commotion among the top 100 powerhouses present. Obviously, you pushed me and I pushed you, hesitating. I'll do it. Xiaoyan and Yu Ran glanced at each other, then took a step forward and walked away slowly towards the wooden box. If no one was willing to make this start, the two of them would naturally be willing. After all, the two of them, he is quite confident in his own strength. At this time, there is no need to hide and tuck, just draw lots to find your opponent and defeat him. As long as the luck is not particularly bad, naturally you will not encounter the late 2-star fighting immortal and the 2-star fighting immortal complete powerhouse. This kind of strong, I am afraid I will only meet at the end. Even though Xiaoyan is only in the early stage of 2-star Do Xian now, but his combat power is as simple as playing a family in the early and middle stages of 2-star Do Xian. The powerhouse in the later stage of 2-star Do Xian is a little bit difficult. It is necessary to go all out. After all, being able to participate in the Eastern Continent competition is not an unknown person. Crash! After some exploration, Xiaoyan finally drew blue 25, while Yu Ran drew blue 20. Xiaoyan was also worried that the two would draw a duel, so he wanted to use his soul power to directly probe the wooden box to avoid this problem. But how could he know that there was an extremely tyrannical prohibition set in this wooden box, which was obviously a sword forging Thunder Valley? This kind of cheating has been known for a long time, and it was banned in advance. It seems that we won't meet for the time being. Yu Ran was also slightly relieved. Obviously, for Xiaoyan, even her strength in the late stage of the 2-star Do Xian, she was not sure. After all, she had seen this guy Xiaoyan. The horror. If it is a real battle, I am afraid it will be difficult to tell the winner. When the two of them finished speaking, the other strong men around them also slowly wriggled and walked away from the wooden box to start the draw. The lottery was conducted in an orderly manner under the leadership of the guards and the head of the forged sword Lei San, Du Tianfeng, and it didn't take long. The lottery is over and the competition begins. The time required for the top 100 to advance to the top 50 is naturally determined according to the opponent. If the opponent is tyrannical, it will naturally take more time, and vice versa. However, Xiao Yan found that the powerhouses here had the lowest strength and were also in the middle stage of 2-star fighting immortals, and it seemed that he only had a 2-star initial stage, which made Xiao Yan quite helpless. Since everyone is ready, let's start. The promotion of the arena is based on the outcome. If one side admits defeat, no more kills are allowed. Otherwise, the result will be cancelled. Otherwise, life and death are irrelevant. Duan Tianfeng said slowly, obviously the rules have been clearly stated. Such a rule is quite likable. The dark figure just now was the one who had been promoted in the same promotion field with Xiao Yan. At this time, what he was holding in his hand was a white 25. In this way, his opponent is Xiao Yan. Boom! Du Tianfeng's voice just fell, and suddenly the huge light curtain outside the barren arena slowly became transparent, and a scene that was enough to shock everyone present slowly emerged. Where is this arena? This is clearly a mountain range. And through the transparent light curtain, the top 100 who were immediately present couldn't help but say with a hoarse throat. Because in the arena, there are mountains and waters, rocky peaks with undulating terrain, and a mountain range. Tisk tisk tisk, this sword-forging Thunder Valley is really huge. Xiao Yan couldn't help but be shocked. The overall area of the arena mountain range is probably several thousand meters, and being able to use such a vast space as an arena requires not only deep pockets, but also some special means. Name, well deserved. Blue number 1 versus white number 1, please enter. A guard said slowly to the crowd. I'm coming too. As soon as the voice fell, 2 burly men jumped out of the crowd, and then poured into the competitive mountain range to start the battle. Time passed minute by minute. During this period, there were many battles worth watching. Xiao Yan naturally detected several powerful opponents, and through observation, Xiao Yan also discovered the tyranny of Yu Ran Ran. Yu Ran Ran was dealing with an Earth-type powerhouse with the same strength in the late stage of the 2-star Do Xian. Earth-type powerhouses are extremely terrifying in defense. Although their destructive power is not strong enough, if their defenses are strong enough, they will suddenly use Do Qi to defend and drag the enemy to death. This is also the reason why tyrannical Earth-type powerhouses are hated. The shell is average, it can't be beaten and can't be beaten, and it can't be ignored. This makes other people like mute eating berberine, and they can't tell the bitterness. However, the power of the rain and wind attribute was extremely well used. Although they fought for a while, they still managed to advance to the top 50. Next, blue 25 versus white 25. The next moment, the guard's voice spoke loudly. This Xiao Yan, I'm afraid it's not that simple. He can come here with the strength of the 2-star Do Xian early stage, and the heavy ruler behind him is probably a weapon that is not weak. Among the crowd, a weak scholar the breath opened slowly. This guy is probably lucky. The guy who fought against him is a late-stage 2-star Do Shancheng powerhouse, and he advanced with us with a record of 6 wins. Although this Xiao Yan is also 6 wins, but it seems it's exhausting, I'm afraid. And after the battle with the black figure, the 6 people who failed were all wiped out. Even if they admitted defeat, they didn't call out. Another figure also spoke slowly. These 2 were Bingling and Mu Xiao, who were in the same arena as Xiao Yan. What do you think Xiao Yan's chances of winning are? Bingling asked. I don't know, let's take a look, but I'm looking forward to playing against him. I hope he doesn't lose so soon. Mu Xiao smiled. Susu. Boy, there is a way to heaven if you don't go. Asterisk has no way to break in. The black figure and Xiao Yan came to the entrance of the light curtain at the same time, and immediately smiled at Xiao Yan. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and then disappeared directly into the light curtain. HMPH, I'll make your life worse for a while. After the black figure finished speaking, he also submerged into the competitive mountain range and started the battle. Little guy, you are a dignified 4th-grade pharmacist of the immortal rank. Since this guy entered Licheng, I have noticed that something is wrong. If you have the means, Even if you use it well, I will cover it up for you. When rushing into the competitive mountain range, a powerful force like *** slowly entered Xiao Yan's mind. Tianxinfeng? Just as Xiao Yan was about to start, he was immediately attracted by the sound transmission of the soul of Tianxinfeng outside. He may be a member of the Ghost Kingdom, and he is here to destroy our Eastern Continent ratio this time, so if there is a chance, I will obliterate him, investigate memory, and other things, and I will naturally help you. Duan Tianfeng continued. That's what it means. And Xiao Yan heard the words and laughed slowly, because he could smell some familiar aura from the black figure in front of him. Well, that's not the breath of the Ghost Kingdom, but similar to Soul Clan. Continuing from the previous episode 1294. Boy, if you are distracted by battle, you will die. Just as Xiao Yan was talking with Duan Tianfeng's soul voice transmission, the black figure did not stand still, and the dazzling black gas on his body turned into a substantial energy battle. Halberd directly grasped the bottom end of the halberd, and pierced the sharp part towards Xiao Yan. Above the halberd, an extremely dark ghostly aura filled the air, and then burst into Xiao Yan with a fierce aura. Shabu shabu. There was a burst of cold light on the sharp point of the halberd, which directly shook the void around Xiao Yan. It's good to come. Seventh layer of breaking the sky. Seeing this, Xiao Yan took off the ancient ruler of eternal fire hanged directly behind him, and then the dazzling fire attribute vindictiveness suddenly emerged, instantly covering the ancient ruler of eternal fire hang. His pupils clenched tightly. Shrinking, a terrifying momentum slowly diffused out. Two-star fighting immortals in the early stages of fighting against the late two-star fighting immortals. This is a bit too laborious. I am afraid that this guy will lose in a few rounds. The only kid in the top 100 who is in the early stage of the two-star fighting immortal. Looking at the terrifying offensive of the two in the competitive mountain range, some of the outer powerhouses couldn't bear it. Live in whispers. This guy's strength is a bit different from the Kingdom of Ghosts. Isn't he from the Kingdom of Ghosts? Du Tianfeng, the third master of the sword forging Thunder Valley in charge of this competition, also frowned. This man in black, obviously they had discovered it long ago when they entered Licheng, but they didn't do it for a long time, in order to lay a long line and catch a big fish. At this time, the sky-shattering battle was slowly spreading over the competitive mountain range. Bang bang bang, the black halberd roared towards Xiao Yan with a very gloomy aura, and above Xiao Yan's Yuwo eternal ancient ruler, there was also an extremely hot flame aura. The two just collided, and the sky suddenly filled. Sparks were falling all over the athletics mountains. Boom! Shabu shabu! With a bang, two forces exploded directly, and then Xiao Yan and the figure of the man in black fell towards the rear at the same time. This guy is a bit tricky. The man in black pondered as he stepped back. Obviously, even Xiao Yan's strength in the early stage of the two-star Do Xian would give him a strong pressure. Capsize. This man in black should undoubtedly belong to the Soul Clan. Xiao Yan also thought while backing away. Xiao Yan has fought many battles with the Soul Clan on the Do Chi continent, so he is very familiar with the spirit of the Soul Clan. However, Xiao Yan was also a little surprised that this guy didn't use the Soul Clan's usual trick, Soul Lock. I'm afraid it's because he didn't dare to use it in order to prevent his identity from being exposed. Otherwise, there is a powerhouse at the level of Du Tianfeng, and if he uses the means of the Soul Clan, he will be arrested immediately. After all, neither the Soul Clan nor the Ghost Kingdom have a very friendly reputation. Soul Shadow. The next moment, the man in black didn't hesitate, exclaimed directly, and then the figure disappeared into the competitive mountain range out of thin air. A fighting skill to hide a figure. Xiao Yan naturally retreated to stay away from the explosion just now, but he just stabilized his figure and suddenly saw the Shadow Man coming. This should be quite a profound exercise, and it can even hide the breath. However, it's too much to underestimate me, Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's pupils were tightly closed, and then the dazzling soul power directly permeated the mountain range in all directions. In a short moment, the entire competitive mountain range was given to Xiao Yan's sweep away. This guy, such a tyrannical soul force. It seems that it's time to hurry up. There should be something on him. If I get it, I'm afraid the palace master and the others will be very happy. After the man in black finished speaking, his figure moved quickly, in order not to let Xiao Yan's soul power probe. The speed of fighting chi can't be faster than the soul power. Xiao Yan sneered, and controlled the dazzling soul power to chase the man in black, but in order to prevent any accidents, Xiao Yan deliberately divided energy avatar. Suffered to death. At this time, the man in black was thousands of meters away from Xiao Yan, but the space in front of him suddenly wriggled strangely, and then he quietly escaped from the pursuit of Xiao Yan's soul power. In front of Xiao Yan. Die. Xiao Yan closed his pupils tightly at this time. The space around his body squirmed slightly, a palm surrounded by black energy, carrying a dagger with countless exquisite patterns, stabbed directly at Xiao Yan's celestial cover. Go! Not good. This dagger is a weapon of the second rank of immortal rank. If it goes on like this, I'm afraid Xiao Yan will definitely die. Seeing this, Yu ran outside the competitive mountain range, saw a burst of panic on her pretty face, and hurriedly turned towards Du Tianfeng, trying to seek help. Duo Tianfeng naturally saw this scene, but he did not rush to take action. Although Xiao Yan reached the 4th rank of immortal rank alchemist at a young age, his achievements in the future would be limitless, but if he underestimated the enemy and lost his life, he could not blame others. Alas, and many of the powerhouses outside the arena sighed slightly. It was obvious that even they were helpless with that kind of close-range attack, and they could already see Xiao Yan's mind being pierced in their minds. Shabu Shabu. The man in black hadn't fully appeared yet, he just grabbed the dagger in his hand and stabbed Xiao Yan away. The reason for doing so was so sudden that Xiao Yan had no time to prepare. Peefed. With a sound, the man in black suddenly seemed to be assassinating with a powerful blow, but when he hit Xiao Yantian's spiritual cover, it instantly turned into a puff of smoke. Separate? Not good. How could the man in black know that Xiao Yan had already dealt with it? When he saw that his attack hit his clone, the space was squirming and he was ready to escape. Wait for you for a long time. Good luck with a punch, jumping over mountains and rivers. The space behind the man in black also wriggled in an instant, and then a flaming fist composed of fiery red flames directly hit the exposed arm of the man in black. Clang! The arm was hit so hard, a sound of broken bones sounded instantly, and the dagger also slid down, falling directly into the mountains. Don't look at Xiao Yan's easy blow, but it contains the power of the fire attribute fighting immortal whose spirit has been tempered by holy flame. With the increase of fighting skills, its power is far from comparable to ordinary fighting skills. www. Link to novelmtl.com. Moreover, when the fiery red flame just hit the arm of the man in black, a trace of the flame hidden inside also burned directly into the body of the man in black. The power of holy flame not only has a natural restraint on foreign evil races, but also has an extremely tyrannical aura when it comes to the ghostly aura of ghost world creatures. Little bastard. Seeing this, the man in black flashed all over his body, and then his left arm flashed a sharp beam of do chi, cutting his right arm straight off. Tisk tisk tisk. It's really worth it. Seeing this, Xiao Yan didn't give this guy a chance to breathe, his breath came out, and he blasted away at the man in black. I admit defeat. The man in black conceded defeat for no apparent reason, and then Du Tianfeng also appeared on the field, ending the match. In this game, Xiao Yan won and advanced to the top 50. As for the losers, don't be discouraged, there is still a round of resurrection competition to enter the top 50. Duan Tianfeng said, since today's competition is over, I won't bother you anymore, and go back to rest first. Farewell. After the man in black finished speaking, he directly covered his only remaining right arm and looked at Xiao Yan resentfully. Duan Tianfeng said with a light smile. It's just that the man in black clearly didn't notice at this time that a very weak khaki flame was quietly floating in his body, and Xiao Yan and Duo Tianfeng watched the figure of the man in black leave. He also laughed involuntarily.